you all. So we're going to get kicked off this morning. We've got several different updates from each of our areas. Dr. Smith is going to start. She's got a few things she needs to cover real quick from their areas. I'll go into mine, and then we're going to hear from some other folks, so it won't be just us talking to you all. So, Dr. Smith. That's what you said. I already changed it. My phone.
Well, good morning. I have a few things I kind of wanted to just update you guys on. We had a really busy year, and it's the start of a new year, and we've had so many good things going on. Sometimes I think everything's going so fast that we forget to celebrate all the great things that happened this year. And as I sat down with the deans and tried to come up with a list of things that I wanted to update you guys on, there were so many we started having to cut them because I didn't have time to talk about them all. But I just wanted to kind of start out with reminding you guys all the great things that happened this year. How many people know about the Ignite Center? What happened with the Ignite Center this year? For those of you that don't know, we were granted the opportunity to pilot a project, a secondary high school center. So on this campus, we've got high school students from 4 local high schools coming to our campus, and they are participating in 4 of our academic programs. This year, in our first year, we were able to grant 22 certificates of proficiency in CNA, 22 certificates of proficiency in phlebotomy, 22 completed basic life support credentials. 1 of those students has been accepted into our fall LPN class, and 1 has completed CNA licensure. Those are high school students, guys. In our truck service and maintenance, this is our diesel program, Daimler Chrysler North America Get Ahead certifications. Our students earn 70 credentials, free of charge. Now, these students aren't paying. This is the most of any program in the state of Arkansas. 2 of these students have enrolled in our diesel tech program for fall. So, great stuff. This is only half of what I've got, guys. We've done some great things this year. This year, a lot of our programs received also continuing accreditation. We've been paying so much attention to HLC, but in the background, our program faculty have been working so hard. Several of our programs received continuing accreditation, such as KHEP, which is our Surge Tech accreditation, CNA, which is the Office of Long-Term Care Nursing, had an Arkansas State Board of Nursing visit. Our Diesel Tech program successfully completed a review from the Arkansas Trucking Association Maintenance and Trucking Committee. I said it right. And this is a huge deal because these are the major players from all of the United States coming in and looking at our program and evaluating our facilities and our program. This shows what a commitment to quality education we have and what we're doing here and the great things that our students are learning and taking out into the industry when they graduate. This year we implemented an online tutoring system called Smart Thinking and Evaluation Kits, student course assessment tool. And those are some great opportunities in student assessment, but also showing our commitment to continuous quality improvement. We're okay with looking in and saying these are the things that we need to improve. And finally, our commitment to community service, industry partnership, and statewide engagement continues through several of our efforts and initiatives, including the Newport Christmas Light Initiative. Several of your students and faculty assisted the City of Pocahontas and our sister school, Black River Technical College, when they needed us following the flooding incident this year. The annual Port Fest events, I saw several of you and your students working there. Also, our continued partnership with Arkansas Electric Co-op, the Haas Foundation, Petty Jean Electric Cooperatives, and Unity Health, which gleaned a lot of donations this year. Trucks, scholarships, funds, equipment. Those are going to really affect our programs and our students this year. And several of our faculty members are serving on local, regional, and statewide boards and commissions. And I just want to say a big thank you to you all for that because it makes our institution better. It shows our students what we expect from them when they leave our programs and our college, and it makes our college more visible. It shows our industry partners what we can do and what our students are going to do when they leave our programs. So I'm really excited about this coming year. I know we're going to do even bigger and better things, and I'm just excited that you guys are back. So have a great year, guys. Thanks.
On your tables, if you would not mind, please go ahead and put your name. We've already filled in what company and email address. Just make sure we document that you're here. We get credit for these trainings. If you don't have a sheet, just raise your hand and we can get you copies. Okay, quick updates. I'll make this brief from my area. Dean of Student Development. We are still in the process of hiring for this position. The hiring committee did an excellent job screening and interviewing candidates. We have not been successful in that search. So just note that we will be continuing those to get that position filled as quickly as we can. I'm not rushing into it because we need to get someone that will be great for our students. And so making sure we take our time to get someone to replace Dean Long's big shoes. We need to get those filled as quickly as possible. So anything that she would have normally handled, that will be coming to my office. So we will be handling everything. So with that being said, who wants t-shirt and free pizza? Thank you. Yes, exactly. So on each campus, we have a flyer that's going to be coming out. Our advertising did a great job. Thank you, Jeremy Shirley, for helping facilitate that. So I'll be sending out an email, and Danielle will be helping me corral volunteers. So if you volunteer to help serve pizza or hand out t-shirts, you get a free t-shirt yourself. So yay, everybody gets a free t-shirt. So here at Newport, we will have it on Tuesday, August 22nd. So next Tuesday, a week from today, we'll have that here. And then Wednesday will be in Marktree, and then Thursday will be in Jonesboro. So whichever campus you are at that time, I encourage you to come by 11 to 1, meet and mingle with our students. So just a heads up, so you'll see student activities coming out pretty quickly. Those are underway. And so let's see, workplace answers. Who doesn't love those Monday morning emails from Sarah and myself to, hey, don't forget to do your training. If you've not done, I still get mine, so I've not completed it. Shame on me. But we are, that company has been taken over by EverFi, which is slowly taking over all of the companies that are smaller than them. So we are under, just note that may change. So your Title IX, your FERPA training, those things may look a little different in the future. Sarah and I are working together with Adam to get that resolved and get new training out to you and our students to make sure we stay in compliance. Our Futures. Who's heard of Our Futures grant? From the state? Anybody? Yes. So with that, a component of keeping the students keeping their scholarship is they have to meet with a mentor 4 times per semester. And so that is for the lifetime of them receiving the scholarship. We are not eligible to serve as mentors. They want us to gather mentors from the community. So if you have a family member, spouse, loved one, someone at your church, someone at an organization you volunteer with, if they are interested in becoming mentors, please see Mr. Wheeler or myself. We are working, we've got about 50 students right now on our roster who will need mentors. A lot of those students are in the Craighead County area. So if you live in Craighead County or know someone that would be interested, it's not a huge time commitment. The meetings can be on the phone or text. It's just checking in, much like we do with our student success coordinators. That's what that role will be. So that's just something else to get involved in our community. So if you're interested or know someone, please see I for myself, and we'll be happy to sign along. Questions for me? I'll be happy to take any from my area. You need another sign sheet? All right, we'll get you one. When you get extra copies.
We need one of those.
When you say we can't, does that mean all employees?
They don't want institutional employees to serve as mentors. So if you have a side business, you can put on your side business hat. Just don't have your ASU mentor hat on at that time when you're serving as a mentor. They just want to, it's to get the community involved in our students, which is great. I totally applaud that, but sometimes we know it's a little more difficult. So wrangle in outside community members. So any recommendations would be appreciated.
Can we get more information to tell people about it?
Absolutely. I will send out a campus-wide email. I are working on those communications. Thank you all. Candace is going to do she needs to explain a few things from her areas. And so she will do that, and then Tanya will join her.
Okay, I have been asked to explain a few things about attendance reporting, why it's important, and a few things about facts about dropping and withdrawing from classes. So why do we need to report attendance? This will help you pay attention to Chris Doyle when he teaches you how to do that here in a few minutes. Why do we report attendance? The number one reason is student success. We know that 50% of life is showing up, so we want to track attendance. Student safety, if there's ever something awful that happens, we want to be able to know who was here and who we need to find and who we don't have to worry about. Federal financial aid compliance, we must not award any federal dollars to a student who is not attending class. Since financial aid and enrollment services staff cannot possibly know who's here and who's not here, we rely on instructors to take attendance and report it accurately. And we all play a role in attendance and dropping and withdrawing. When we report attendance accurately, that reduces the risk of bad debt and tuition disputes. If there's a student who somehow, I don't know how this happens, but this happens. Students just appear on a roster and they didn't sign up, and maybe their evil twin did it, but they don't know they're enrolled, and at the end of a term, they have an F on their transcript because they didn't do any work, and they owe tuition and fees, and they call Brandon, and then Brandon sends them to me, and I have to explain to them what happened. And if we can catch that in the very beginning of the semester, that really helps us. Also, part of what the Arkansas Department of Higher Education considers a student is an individual who not only enrolls in school, but is a student who attends and pays. Otherwise, that person is known as a ghost, and we don't need to have any of those, or I will end up in the newspaper. It's true. Okay, so there are two ways a student can discontinue enrollment. The most proper way would be if a student makes that request in writing, using the appropriate form, or even an email. I will accept an email. I will help them, however, if they will just email me, or Phyllis Worthington. The other way a student discontinues enrollment is involuntarily by just not showing up. And we hope that if you have a student who is on your roster whom you have never seen or you've never interacted with online, by the 11th day of class, you would mark that student as having never attended your class so that I can treat that as a drop. Ultimately, now there's kind of a paradox here. Ultimately, the student is responsible. If a student doesn't want to attend a class, it's ultimately their responsibility to drop by the 100% refund day, because we can all make mistakes. Oh, yes, hi.
Do they know about that? I mean, our students, do they know that they have got to be there by the 11th day? We share the
Well, we tell
I
them.
know, but it's like sometimes, you know how we report our attendance, and then they'll come back and say, why was I dropped? By not showing up.
Well, we share in the engage session. When you enroll, you need to go to class and participate.
So Bridget, we do cover that especially for our new students who are attending the engage sessions. We do cover that. Candace goes over the seat example, and then we've also talked about.
I know the advisor, I go over it too.
Right, and so I know they're covering
There's an
it.
attendance piece on the table for the SOLs also.
Right, well, it was just,
So unfortunately, there are those who, even if we gave them tattoos that say this is what it's gonna be, they're not gonna. So we can minimize it as much as we can, yes.
However, if they start our classes and then they stop coming, that doesn't mean they're automatically dropped. They have to actually go through some sort of form and be dropped.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Somebody needs to tell them.
Yes.
I'll tell them, beginning of class.
Totally lost my train of thought. Give me a minute. Okay, so if you report them as a non-attendee, I treat that as a drop. They get out, it's as if they never enrolled. They don't have a W on their transcript, and there is a 100% refund of tuition and fees. It is their responsibility ultimately to do that because we can make a mistake. You can have 20 students on a roster and miss one. So if we tell students, wait and let your instructor drop you, please don't tell a student, wait and let your instructor drop you for non-attendance. Have them go ahead and be proactive and get out of the class if they really don't want to be there. Any more questions about non-attendance and what that means and why it's important? Okay. I'll go through what happens when we drop or unregister a student. A drop can only occur before the end of a 100% refund period. By the way, I'm going to email this document to all of you. I know you can't wait to read it. It can only occur.
Bedtime reading.
Yeah, it'll put you right to sleep. A drop can only occur before the end of the 100% refund period. A dropped class will not appear on a transcript. A dropped student's name will eventually disappear from your roster. A dropped course will no longer appear on a student's schedule of courses. And a drop or unregister makes it as if it all never happened. And there's usually, there's always an exception, but usually there is no impact for financial aid. A withdrawal is a student signaling to us that they know they're enrolled in the class, but they know they don't want to complete that class. And the withdrawal, the W grade on a transcript, will only happen after the 100% refund period ends. That's very important this fall because we do not have a 50% refund period anymore. It's all or nothing. So come the 11th day, there is no refund. There is a W on the transcript, and that has financial aid implications. A student who has withdrawn will still appear on your roster because think of it as we're waiting to put a W grade in the final grade column on a transcript. So they're going to stay on your roster. And the course is going to stay on their course schedule, and it'll show a 0 credit hour or a attempt but not earned. And the withdrawal usually will impact the student's financial aid eligibility. Questions?
So those that we turn in as non-attending on the 11th day, they will be dropped. But after that, anything after that point is withdrawn. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. So if you turn them in, but again, it's ultimately the student's responsibility. We don't want to tell students, oh, we'll drop you, because we make mistakes. We're all just people, right? I make them every day. So, but we want them, if we can remove them from the roster at all and help their financial situation and help them not have a W on a transcript, we want to do that if we can. Okay, good. No more questions.
I just have a couple of things. I'm going to turn it over to Chris, who's going to do all the fun stuff of showing you how to do something. One thing that we have worked on this semester or this past month was to get the bandwidth increase at both Jonesboro and Mark Tree. We don't have it on RON yet. That is my ultimate goal, and so that's my next step. But we did increase Jonesboro from 75 to 100 meg and Mark Tree from 40 meg to 100 meg. So hopefully you're going to see those differences. And as soon as I can get the others on, I'm hoping that we can move to a gig, just like here, as soon as I can start a contract and get the long-term process. But we do have an increase, so hopefully you're gonna see that difference, especially at Mark True. You should really see a difference at Mark True. Now for something that everybody's been asking me about for about a year, I think. I have ordered faculty staff computers. So I have this big long list, and computers are ordered, and they'll be in a couple of weeks, and then we're gonna start getting them out to you. Please be patient with us though, because I ordered 80 laptops and 22 desktops. So it's going to take us a little while to get them out there, but we're gonna get those out to you as soon as we can get them in. I know everybody's been anxious and waiting on those, so we finally got them ordered. The last thing that I was going to talk about is the help desk. We did have an upgrade to the help desk, a month ago, Chris? And it has changed some things, so we're going to try and figure out why you can't see your tickets and get you instructions on that, why it's changed a little bit. The ticket system is still working. We still see your tickets. You still submit them. And I'm going to work on getting you directions for how to find your past ones that are not showing the way they were. If you're having trouble logging into the help desk, please see one of us so we can make sure we can get you in. It did change the username from just using your first name _ last name to the full email address. We wasn't aware of that. That was just a random thing the upgrade did on its own. So please use your full email address on the username, and that will hopefully get you in. Continue to check your rosters for the faculty and compare to My Campus versus Canvas. I think we're a lot better than we were last Friday when we finally figured out what little one check box was keeping them all from going over there. So we figured that out and got all of them over there, I think. I've got some coming in from faculty, and we're taking those as soon as we get them. I try and get them populated so your students will be there. Remember to give me your full course ID and the student, if it's just one student. That way it makes it easier for me to find that student and upload them and get them up there. So now I'm going to turn it over to Chris, and he's going to train you on how to do attendance.
I forgot one thing. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's helped with academic advising days and our engaged sessions. They have been a huge success. Last night we saw between the two campuses, between Newport and Jonesboro, 83 students just last night. So kudos to teachers and Greg Cook. I mean, it takes all of us. So I want to say thank you for all that you've done this summer to help get our students in. We really appreciate it. All right. You can go.
Ooh, this is totally different stress level talking to y'all compared to the students last night. Okay, so I'm going to talk quick. I've had 5 shots of espresso. I have videos of what I'm going to discuss today. We're going to talk about attendance, a little bit about paper cut and distribution groups and CNS emails coming out of the system. So faculty, get ready. Here we go. But first, there's always a first. I have changed the mycampus.asu.edu. I'm bound by ADA compliance. So yes, I know some of it's not that pretty. I'm still working on the sidebars. But again, I'm working on ADA on the page. It's bound by ADA compliance. Nothing is instantaneous because there's still alt tags and stuff I have to put on to the drafts before I can make them live. But this is the My Campus that you will see whenever you try to log into the faculty My Campus login. And we'll start with attendance. If you just click on Faculty My Campus and you'll log in, and I got a training environment so I don't mess any of you up. Coffee. I took control of some of your classes in the training environment. So if you do log into our training environment in CNS, you will see some differences. And I'm just logging in as a faculty member would into the My Campus side. The colors will be a little bit off as it's the training environment. Thank you. When you first log in, you'll see your class center right here, which tells you the term. This is the fall term. I took over like 7 people's classes. I have an online, a in-seat Newport course, And you'll see your courses right here, and then the attendance due right here. Here's where you click on to print your rosters. So we will post attendance for on-seat, and I think I've done agriculture, but we'll click on it anyways. You just click on the course. In the orange right here, it tells me what course needs attendance. Just click on the link, and I think, oh yeah, I have 2 students in here, William and Harry Potter. And it's pretty simple. Right-hand side for the in-seat course, you'll see the edit button. For a term that is needing attendance posting. So you are past let's say this would be like, if it was 8 o'clock in the morning, you're at 8:01. That's the time whenever you can edit the attendance. And then you just hit present, and save, update. And that's all it is for the in-course posting attendance. For this class. Now I got Vicky Friends. Go ahead, Vicky.
And a non-faculty member have access to that?
For the post attendance?
For all of our
Yeah.
students, all of our courses.
Correct. Yeah, wait.
No.
For in-seat, on-campus course, correct. For the Canvas-only course or prison, we'll work those out. No, those will be different. So on a Canvas-only course, let me go back to home. And let me pull up.
Just because sometimes they need assistance and it's hard to assist when you
Yeah.
can't see what they're looking at.
So this is an on-campus only. Can everyone see in the back? Greg Slayton, can you see in the back?
Yes.
Okay. So right-hand side, you'll see student-specific time. This is only for a Canvas-only course. You click on that, and on the right-hand side, you'll see Build Grid. And it tells me the date it's going to try to build its grid for the attendance piece. You'll build the grid, and I think I've already posted attendance for this one. Yeah, I've already posted attendance. Let me go back. Your video has that example in it. I've already done that one. Let's try art. Student-specific, build grid. Here you go. Whenever you go to build the grid, you'll see present, absent, excused. You will not use excused for the most part. Talk to your VC for excused. Absences or absent and present. So we're going to log everyone as present, and we'll give 2 absences. I'm going to hit update on the right-hand side. And then you can see everyone, the amount of time that they've been posted.
Chris,
Yes,
when you build the grid.
when you build the grid.
You have to do it at a week at a time.
Mhm.
It won't go beyond a
Correct.
week, is that correct?
Correct. You only want to do the grid for a week at a time. Yes.
Every week we do that?
Yes.
Oh, every week you do that. I don't know who asked, but yes. Stacy Moon. Hold on, Stacy's talking, please.
When you're referring to on-campus courses, the back of the room is hearing on-campus courses. If you
On
say
site.
Online, Canvas courses are online to faculty.
Okay.
So
Phil.
All right, Chris.
Bad.
On clarification,
Clarification.
Vicky's question was, can she get in and do my attendance?
No, I was gonna address that.
Okay, I want to make sure
What
we're
Vicky
clear on that.
was wanting, and this is what our concurrent faculty as well, with our, high schools, with our principals, that is not set up in this system the way it was before.
Okay.
So I don't think at this time we can give you permission, if you're not an instructor on that class, then you're not gonna be able to enter it this way. For those academic coordinators, you can always go in the other way, but that's why the video that he's got is gonna be important to these faculty, especially the adjuncts, because you're not gonna be able to see the same thing, because you're not an instructor on that course.
Can you ask multiple instructors without messing up reporting?
Probably not, that would have to be tested, I don't know what that will do to reporting without doing testing, and we don't want instructors showing up that they're not really instructors, so we would have to really test that really thoroughly with the reporting, because I think it'll pick them up.
We had some problems sometimes trying to go back, like if I was absent and then put the sign-in sheet, so I wanted to give those students credit, I couldn't go back and
You
update
should
it.
be able to go back to any time that's still on. Oh, after you've updated it?
Right, that's what you're saying.
No,
After you updated it, Later and say, well, I was there, I didn't get the sign-in sheet. How do we update that?
That's where we need to work out a process with Candace and work out how she wants to. We may send it, you may send it, we may send it to the academic coordinators and they can do it for you. We need to work out a process. Or you may be able to do it through Candace Nexus, not the web, and that's additional training. And we can do that, it's just,
So you're
at
saying
this
you
time,
can't.
this just can't go back in and edit at this time. I don't know without testing recording.
Because I put myself as a secondary instructor for truck driving, and I popped up on their report, so I don't think it will work that way. When I
I
was
think
doing
that's
some
gonna show up
videos.
on your ADHD recording going to the state, and that's not what we want. We've got to figure out a different way.
Mark,
Can we not have the default set to present rather than absent?
what's going on?
We can.
I'm not clicking.
That is set up at the initial class. When the academic coordinators are creating that class, they can set that as one of the options. And then you've got to make sure that you do check and make sure, don't just submit because it's all present. But yes, the academic coordinators have control over that.
So Vicki can go in and
If we
change.
decide to do that, yes. And that needs to be a discussion with the deans to make sure everybody's on board, but yes.
Because it's going to be an all or none on that. And it's a double-edged sword on that, because if you don't look and you post someone's attendance, then they'll never be dropped by Candace. So just get everything on tape for you.
It works both ways though. I mean,
It
Correct.
does work both ways.
Yeah. What do you mean an all or none? I mean, every class in the division has to be set the same way?
It should all be set the same way. That way it's consistent for everyone. That way for if you're training someone or Tiffany, raise your hand. If Tiffany's training someone to advise or we're doing new onboarding for tutorials, it's easier for me and it's easier for everyone when we're making tutorials that you need to do this, you need to do this. Inconsistency in the programs will cause issues and everything. You can't hear me in the back. All right, I'm not done. I'm a Doyle.
That's fine. If y'all want to do it absent, that's fine. We're not going to do it till next semester. So talk to your deans and we'll make one decision. And if you guys want to change it, we'll change it next semester. For this semester, it'll default like it has been because they have to go back in and change every class. Let's do it like this for this semester. If we want to change it in spring, that's fine. But I don't want to have the coordinators have to go back and change every class. So talk to your deans, if you have your next division meetings, and if we'll come to consensus, we'll change it, but if not, we'll stay like it is.
And just because instead of waiting till the end, I just went ahead and sent y'all the videos. Yeah, just why not? So also, let's see, we did attendance. We're going to talk a little about paper cut. Paper cut will affect all students this fall semester. Students, paper cut is print monitoring for students. Let me see if I can give you an example in the bottom right hand corner. Why no, this does not fit every single module in every single scenario, every single template, every single printer, every single campus and student and faculty member, and every single variable we have 15-year-old printers on campus. Some of them do not duplex, some of them will do simplex, some of them have multiple trays. There are a lot of variables with this. This will help keep track of printing, and I have already, it's been live in a week and a half for students, and I've seen some students already hit the 500 mark on prints, on paper. So, faculty, we will be monitoring you. It will not be going into effect. This also goes into effect for staff. You will not be affected just yet. You will see your number go down. Whenever you print a page or paper that is over 2 pages, let me see if I can get word. You will get a pop-up. Don't worry. Go to the end.
How many pages do students get?
Oh, you're going. Hold on. I got you. And there's no printer on here. Go figure. Okay, so you'll get a pop-up that says right as soon as you print, it'll pause your print job in the print spooler, and it says, "Hey, Tiffany in the back." I'll use the example again. You were trying to print a page that's over 2 pages. Please, if you could, please consider using a duplex, which means two-sided. Now, some of your printers, again, do not do two-sided prints. So please, if your print job gets paused, just know that PaperCut's taking over. If it doesn't get to the printer, contact ITS, and then we'll work it out somehow. Now, we have found that it doesn't, some of the printers, like in the business office, are a little older. It is not duplex. If you do not have a duplex printer, it's not going to magically make your printer duplex, just so you know. Now, when it comes to cost, you'll see your little number go down. You will not be affected by this. This will help keep track of students who are abusing the paper. We do have labs who students, if you talk to anyone on Marktree or Jonesboro or anyone in the library or the computer labs, you'll know that some students do abuse the system and they'll gladly hit print on their PowerPoints and they'll have massive amounts sitting in the paper tray and they do not pick it up. So to keep for fiscal responsibility, student success, and to make sure we have paper available for the other students to come that afternoon, this is taking in effect. So a student runs out and they contact you, hey, my account's at 0 for some reason. It won't let me print. I get a notification by email and the computer's telling me that I've run out of my ability to print. Have them go talk to the business office. We're still working some stuff out on our side, but everyone will get an email with the procedures on what to do next. Man, you're quiet. Yeah, Rob, what you got, man?
Is the 500 yearly, semesterly?
It will be semesterly, and the number will probably change. But that's what faculty see currently.
Thank you.
Everything will be in an official email, and they will be going to every student at the beginning of term. Hey, Crystal, what you got? Oh, rock out. Okay, so I'm a student, and I forgot to log off, even though Chris Doyle sends reminders to students to log off. And they hit their details and they see that Brian Stapleton went in the lab and he printed 50 pages. They can see that by hitting the details and they can log in right here. And let me see if the community's on here. Yeah. It tells them the summary, everything that's been printed, 40 pages. Everything's logged in the system, so every student will know what's going on. We do have...
So do I just use my ASU for login
You
to
will-
log in PaperCut?
Correct. You just, well, actually, it signs in automatically. When you first log in, it signs in automatically with PaperCut. If you're a student, students will be prompted when they first log in to print from this computer, you must sign in. And that's because we did not pull all students into PaperCut. We have, I think, 21,000 students inside Active Directory. And to keep costs down and licenses down, we didn't provide every student with a license. So this is for in-seat students. It does not affect online students whatsoever. Any questions real quick? And again, faculty and staff will not be, they should not see any issues with this for this semester.
I got a question.
Yeah, man.
So if I'm an online student, not on campus, how do I print?
When you first log in, you'll be prompted right then for to log in. It says before you can print from this computer, please log in. And then once they log in, let's say,
Add their account in.
once they first log in, this balance will pop up for them automatically. Everything's logged. Now with the software, we have not got the printers and the firewalls and the switching ready yet, but soon to come where students will be able to print from the guest Wi-Fi without having to install a printer, or if you go to Jonesboro and you're to Newport and something's not matching up, we should be able to do community printers. Now, that is not in place for the fall semester, again. Also with that, we're working on putting scanner kiosks on the campuses, such as Jonesboro and Marktree. We do have some in financial aid. We're still working out the processes so students can go ahead and scan their stuff in for admissions processes for financial aid, and also to scan that assignment for Dr. Doyle in the back because they wrote all kinds of calculus equations on 3 sheets of paper. So just trying to ease the processes for students for the scanning. That is not 100%. Please bear with us as we still roll that out. There are some quirks we're trying to work through. I have step-by-step instructions on the ones we've deployed, such as financial aid, and there's 2 in Jonesboro. Okay. Yes.
I'm not understanding something about them logging in. Before they ever see this pop-up that says you must log in, they've already logged into the computer.
You've logged into the computer. They'll log in a second time into PaperCut.
So they'll have to log into the computer, and then they'll see this thing, and they'll have to do
Correct. It says before you can print here at ASU Newport, you must log in to PaperCut.
Chris, we need to remind students to log out when they're done,
Correct.
or someone else will use their account.
Use their accounts. And this also goes for faculty. So if, let's say, Chris Doyle sees Vicky Franz logged into Martree campus. Chris Doyle, I got some flyers I need to pull out for Cub Scouts, and I can print on for Vicky Franz. Not saying I would ever do it, or Vicky Franz would ever do something like that. You know, leave a computer logged in. But it leaves the ability where now Vicky Franz is justifying a 500-page print, and even though she didn't do it. So definitely for security purposes as well, because no one likes to, you know, install stuff on the computers and viruses and all that good stuff. Log off the computer. Also, yeah. Well, hold on. I got one for you. Let me feed. If you hit the Windows L button, it also locks your computer. So if you're working on something right here, you just hit Windows L. It gives you the lock screen. So the next person has to log in. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that might ask just what I was going to ask you.
Okay.
Would the system not just go idle after a certain amount of minutes if that person is not using it?
Though we do have some scripts in the background that locks the computer, but for you personally, for me, Windows L. Any questions before we go on? Am I at time? Already? Oh my gosh. I will be sending, well, I've already sent the videos. This is the distribution list. I'll send a ASU Newport system everyone. We do have recruiting, admissions, financial aid, student accounts, and ITS ASU.edu. I'll be sending you with the purposes of those emails in just a second. Hand it over.